Welcome to Jackie Builds a CAPRA.
Jackie builds CAPRA. Jackie builds a CAPRA. Jackie builds CAPRA. Jackie builds a CAPRA.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. New week in November. Hope y'all had a good Veterans Day. Today we've decided to go ahead and do some of the electronics before I put the stickers on, or else I'll try myself batty. So I've never done this before, and I'm gonna figure out what to do first and how to do it, and this is what I got with me so far. And there's Patrick. Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excited. I don't know what to do. I got a slab of agate and some wire trimmers. That's pretty much all I know.
Fair enough. Yeah. So your strippers. This is a Mr. Jig, right? So this can help you frequently when you're soldering things. It's nice to have a third hand. This is your third hand. The slice is something I've had since I was a kid that I just use for all of my soldering operations, because the solder will ball up and burn holes in wood and roll off onto things, and this is just kind of like my protective plate. I could probably get a nice big sheet of copper or something, but that's what we've got. So first thing first, why don't you fire up the Circuit Specialist solder station. There's a switch on the right. Okay, so I already preset the temperature. Some of the tools that you're going to be using: wire strippers, right? So depending upon, I mean, you know how these work, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Great.
diameter gauge.
Splendid. Solder, solder wick. So if you have anything that has too much solder on it, you can heat up the solder wick, and it will kind of draw the solder off of it.
Is that copper?
It's unobtainium and adamantium mixed with, what was the other one?
Vibranium.
Vibranium, thank you, yes. That's what that is. I have the liquid electrical tape there. I don't think you'll end up using it, but a lot of times when I'm messing with electronics, sometimes when I'm completely done, I like to put that on there. Depending upon how we make some of your connections, we may actually need to grab some shrink wrap and a heat gun. I didn't think about that until just now.
Well, we'll see what we're working with.
Yes, so let's see. I'm guessing that the first thing we're going to need to do is, let's see, remove something so that we can put some other things in there. Actually, the first thing we probably can do is have a look at your speed control.
Wait, is this the guy that goes in here?
That is the guy that goes in somewhere. I don't remember where they had it mounted. I thought they had it on this plate back here, but we can take a peek.
Well, how do you know what to set that to? Does that depend on this?
Yes, experience. That's just, I set it at 380. You can set it hotter or colder, and you can test with things that you like. That's what I like. Let me see. So they want your receiver to go in this box. So the receiver is with your transmitter, which no one else can see because it's not on camera. But you can show people that too if you want.
But I should take that out
Whenever
too,
you want.
right?
Probably, yeah, because we're going to get to it.
Okay, this is this little dude.
What's up, Cody?
It's so colorful. Program card. Does this need batteries?
I don't know. I've never actually used a Hobby Wing speed controller.
Oh, it looks like it has a...
So it looks like it's got something for something.
This goes...
So I'm guessing that maybe you'll plug your speed control into that. Oh, they included some shrink wrap, so that'll save me one trip. Of course, we don't have a heat gun, but zip tie.
Well, there's a zip...
What?
The heat gun, right?
Yes, there is a heat gun. We have one in the other room.
What? Did you say zip gun?
I said, did it? Maybe? I don't know. You can't listen to things I say and take them for any sort of value. So what they have set up here is, so this is your speed control in the instructions.
Okay.
For anyone that's following along, it's page G4
29
down here, speed control, and then previous page G1, they've got the ESC going right there. Yep. So we skipped this during her build because we didn't have the electronics and we wanted her to just get the truck built. So we're going to have to do some detaching of things. Wahaha. The easiest thing to get to, I think, is going to be your receiver.
Yes.
Because I believe you're just going to have to take 4 screws off of here to plot that in. Getting to the speed control, let's see. We may have to, I don't know, take your interior and roof or something off. I don't know what we'll have to take off. But we'll probably have to slightly disassemble to get to where we're going to put that. I wouldn't worry about setting up I wouldn't worry about looking at that yet. I think probably we want to get things in the truck. I think that's what we need to focus on. So, yeah.
Mwah.
Show and tell your new radio.
Here's my radio. It's beautiful. Super response.
So pretty.
TFHSS.
Actually, we probably can... Yeah, okay, we're good. I'm overthinking things. I'm going to move this stuff to up here.
Thanks.
And I will be like your surgery nurse and fetch things as you ask for them.
Scalpel.
Scalpel?
Oh.
Right.
Not yet.
No? Okay. Too soon?
I was just practicing.
Bad pun?
Warranty.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to fill that out. Small, short. Hey, show everyone how short the short manual is.
Short manual.
Got some reading. 80?
80.
Nice.
And warranty stuff.
Splendid. Some light reading.
Yes. I'll take my tea on the veranda.
Another box for the wall.
Yay. What? That's interesting. Is there stuff in here?
Don't know. Maybe that's extra parts that we didn't get with ours. I don't know. Or maybe there's something in there. Let's see. Ooh, extra arm.
Wonders of cardboard.
Yes, there. I'm a fan of reasonable product packaging and things that make sense. This seems like a large box for a little
Is that all that's in?
tiny receiver.
Wow. Well, I don't want those pins to get smushed.
I suspect that some versions of this, because these, it looks like probably servos would fit down in there. So I think some versions of this probably came with some servos. Yeah, that's all that's in there.
Cool.
We are liking the CAPRA build so far, I think.
Look at this, baby.
Yeah, I think the 4PM replaces the 4PL. I did quite a bit of research when trying to find her a reasonable radio. I like Futaba stuff, personally.
So
The struggle is real.
weak.
Really?
Yeah, here, try.
Okay, fair enough. I think you loosened it. So we will need some, this comes with AA batteries, so I will have to go fetch some batteries. It looks like this also has the option to put in LiPo, or probably Life. Different types of batteries. Liffy? Lifey instead of LiPo. I just say life, I don't know. I can't be expected to know things. You can rip the plastic off if you want.
Not yet.
Nope. Okay, we'll save that for when we fire it up. So I will have to get you some. What did we say? AA battery, 3 AA batteries.
Yeah. Now, are we gonna have to worry about like the voltage on the batteries, like we were with the mouse situation?
No. So these electronic. So Jackie was asking if we're gonna have. We have a little wireless mouse in here, and oops, we initially put some alkaline batteries in it and it worked fine, and then we put some rechargeable batteries in it and the mouse kept turning off. So I mentioned to her that alkaline and LiPo, Lifey, NiCad things have different voltages, but we're good. These are built for this. In the radio, I am not positive, but 98% sure there will be an option to select the type of batteries we're using.
Oh, okay.
If there's not, then it means it just has a wider voltage range and it adjusts for it in the radio.
Oops, sorry.
Nope. How dare you throw things at the garbage can? Little tiny tool.
Tiny tool.
So, receiver's there.
It's like it clips to something.
Yeah.
Clip to that?
I don't think so. I don't know. Nope. Nope.
That's all there was in there. Maybe it clips to the body? Well, that doesn't make sense.
Right, yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
We'll consult the short manual.
What does this thing clip to? So.
Right answers. Okay, so. I'm gonna take this apart.
Yes.
And then.
So
will that
the
connect
instructions
to this
are
guy?
here in case you need them. So the receiver, you can take it out the bag.
Oh, there was that foam.
Some double-sided
there's
sticky foam,
one,
right?
I put
But
one in there.
That's for the, and the ESC came with its own.
Oh, there's a wire in there. Okay. Industrial strength Scotch tape. Where?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so tiny. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this in there and then I guess
Just put it in.
put it in this way with this wire sticking out of there. But what does
Certainly.
that go to?
What is what it?
What is
So,
goes on the
okay,
pins?
sorry, I got distracted because I was looking to make sure we have proper plugs because I remembered your ESC has a different style plug on, which we will change out depending upon what we get to. So, your servo and speed control, if you had a winch, your winch controller, your dig servo, all your servos will plug into that where those pins are. So look at the little black plug on your speed control.
This?
So that's your receiver. Look at your speed control,
okay.
right? So there's a little black plug off the end of one of the wires.
It's on switch.
Last one, there you go.
That guy.
Yeah, so that guy plugs into your receiver.
Ah, okay.
So all servos have that same basic style of plug. Some of them have small differences with little fins, I guess, to help with alignment, to make sure you don't plug it in backwards.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You see that? Okay.
Okie dokie. Well,
So let's see this. Where's this servo lead in here? Nope, that also does not have it. That's your front servo. Your other servo wire is somewhere. Got stuff all over the place in here.
Right. Should I just take the side panels off?
Madness. Maybe. I don't know.
Just for now.
So, see, another one.
Ah.
Right. So, the first thing you'll want to do, I think, is take your cover off of your. So this is a fuel cell, like a gas tank. Get the receiver in there, and then you'll have to start plugging everything in.
Okay.
Of course, before you plug the speed control in, we'll want to mount it to the truck, and we will want to solder these leads to the motor.
Mm-hmm.
So the motor is actually close enough to where the speed control is going to be that I think we can just solder the speed control directly to the motor. And then we won't need shrink wrap or electrical tape or anything. So that should be probably a good thing.
What about going through water?
What about going through water?
Is it not a big deal? Thought you had
It's not a big deal.
cover the things.
Nope.
And wasn't there a thing about this guy not having like some kind of
That guy not having what?
like a washer or something? Like it's just open?
It's not open all the way through though, right?
Is it? I don't know. I thought that's where the wires went.
I think they're hidden. I think it's in front. I think it's closer to where the back of the guy's heads are. Like on that side of the fuel cell.
I think you're right. It's been days.
How dare you?
I dared. I dareth. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Ah.
So little slot, tiny.
There is a
tiny
little
slot.
teeny tiny hole though.
Does it go all the way through?
Yeah.
It does go all the way through. I don't know why that's there. We will put something in here.
Maybe it whistles when you're driving it.
Maybe that's what maybe one of your little screws was supposed to go in there at some point.
What?
I don't know. I don't see it in the instructions anywhere, but we can fix that.
I can't see if it's threaded.
It's not, but it's plastic. Plastic's always threaded. You just have to find them or make them. So I wouldn't necessarily worry about sticking it down just yet. I'd try to just kind of get everything the way you want it, and then stick it down later, because you only get one shot with that stuff. So the wire, you actually don't really want to have hanging out because it can get caught on stuff. It's okay for the wire to be in here. It's fine. A lot of times, crawlers, because we're usually really close to the truck, will actually separate that case and pull off the antenna.
Oh no. Am I okay to
All it just shortens the range. So
this?
the range on these radios is ridiculous.
How ridiculous is it?
Crazy ridiculous.
Ooh.
11 billion.
Ooh.
That's what the range is, 11 billion.
This thing wants to go underneath. Okay.
It's okay.
Do what I say.
All right. So I would, right now, I would start figuring out how you want to run these wires. And remember, you've got a couple of different zip ties. I'm going to get you more, so we'll have plenty. You're going to want all these wires to basically make it into this little case, right?
Okie dokie.
And that includes this guy. So if you see where this little notch is, we may actually have to cut more out of that notch to get all the wires in there.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to let you start working on that. I'm going to grab some more black zip ties. I'm going to grab some AAA batteries for this, and then that should be it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Thanks. What's up, Sean? You know, we have been doing all kinds of crazy stuff, so it's not really on a schedule. But you can pretty well rely on us getting around to this kind of stuff middle of the week. Around this time, right? These tires grip the table so great. They make a little sticky sound when you pick it up. Beautiful gold zippy. It's going in my personal zippy collection. I don't know about cutting a hole in this guy. I think I'll just remove one of these sides. Because even though it's totally unnecessary, I would like to get the headlights sometime. Also, where the heck does anybody get the bars that go in front of the LED strip? It says that I need one, but it's not included. Hadn't looked into that yet. And if they come in different colors, y'all let me know. I just don't want to have to take the guys out again, because I pretty much have to disassemble the whole shock system to get the skid plate separated.
We have good news and bad news.
Okay, bad news first.
The zip ties are white
Okay.
or opaque. The extra ones. You want good news?
Yes.
I found some.
Yay.
You want more bad news?
Yes.
The batteries are half charged.
Half.
Yeah, I couldn't. Someone raided my stash. You know what the good news is?
What?
The batteries are half charged.
Yes. It's enough for today. We can figure out how to
Good, bad, and ugly?
how to program this thing.
Oh, we'll get it. It'll probably require lots of reading.
Yeah, but we'll have enough batteries to do that.
Hopefully, yes.
So I'll just use the black ones up here where it's visible and use the clear ones.
Well, I would route your wires where you want them.
Yes.
Everything first, and then very last thing, tighten things up.
Yes.
And we can get black zip ties. We just are out. Oh, right, yes. And so that's the lights. So that will also plug in.
Yeah, just gonna try to leave the dudes in there.
Yep. So I would say
Yeah, there's a little
you could
gap.
get everything. So your ESC is going to be on this, but on that side.
Okay.
And there's a little hole, I guess, above it that I
Right.
think you could probably push everything through, and then it would come into this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It'll just require you to get in there and do it.
Good thing I have tiny hands.
Hey, Sean, sorry. I forgot to message you earlier. Yeah, we've been a little behind with some things because of the cold. Wait, this way. The cold weather that we have here. We're just not used to it.
It's sprinkled some snowflakes and everybody lost their mind.
Yeah. Oh my God! Frozen water!
I lost my mind.
What happened?
What is this stuff?
What stuff? Oh, yeah.
Ice from the sky.
Yeah, I need to. I thought you were actually talking about something on the truck. I'm like, what do you mean? What is this stuff? There you go. Excellent. Good job.
Well, I think
So I think if you get everything kind of pulled through like that, you should be in good shape.
I like these 70s.
The 70s,
Palette.
right? Yeah.
Reminds me of like those old
Jackie
you know,
Brown cleaners.
spice jars. Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's all I think of when I see that.
The old spice jars with the mushrooms on them. You know, you have like the graduated set in your grandma's kitchen. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but
Coffee,
she
tea,
didn't.
flower.
Yeah, she didn't have those.
Oh, the themed sets. Everything in sets.
Should have got you some tweezers. Would that help?
Probably not.
No. Okay.
I just gotta romance.
Or
the
we have needle
wires.
nose.
Yeah, they're over here.
No.
Need to feel it.
Sean says they had 15 centimeters of snow Monday, another
What?
5 tonight.
Where are you?
Hey, Mark. Yes, please, by all means, show this to your girlfriend. He's up in Canada. Sean is up in Canada. I'm not sure where Mark is.
Have you ever seen a live Wolverine? That'd be so cool.
At the zoo.
No, in the Canadian
yeah, no,
wilderness.
That wouldn't be cool. I'd be scared. Those things are not
Terrifying.
friendly. I mean, I'm not saying I'd be scared, but yeah.
I mean, you don't have to hold one, but
what?
if you saw
Yeah,
one
I'm
and
gonna see one. I'm gonna hold it.
I'm gonna love you and squeeze you.
That's right.
All
Call
right.
it George.
Anything else?
I think that is it for that. So now everything should be able to plug into your receiver except your speed control.
Where does this guy go?
So the soldering, where does what go to?
This-
That's just your antenna. It just hangs out.
Okay.
It hangs out.
So
So let's see.
I don't need to stick it out.
Do not need to stick it out. Now, one thing I didn't think about is it's going to be. We are going to want to figure out how to get the wires from your speed control to your motor. We may actually have to take some other stuff apart. So what I would do for right now, man, I can't talk, is you will want to, so your lights, you could probably plug into the one that says like battery or whatever.
What, they just have
Let's
numbers.
see. So
Bus.
S bus 2, that should be sufficient for the lights. Your steering, you want to plug into channel 1. Yeah, sorry.
How do you know these things? Like, why does it make a difference?
That's kind of just like a default for things.
I don't know what I'm plugging in. Is that?
That's your steering.
That's number 1?
Yep, so that'll be number 1. Your speed control is going to be number 2. I got the manual over here if you decide to read it. Let's see. Somewhere I have an adapter for the battery. You know what? I think my battery adapters are on the batteries. So many parts. Such little to I also should have told you that the black wire goes. Oh, you did good. Okay. So the signal wire. So you have 3 wires that go to your servo, your speed control, all that stuff. Ground, power, and signal.
Okay.
Which do you think is what?
Ground brown.
Yes.
Power red.
Yep. By default, yellow signal. So you have them plugged in appropriately. Let's see. So you got. Well, but you plugged. Let's see. You plugged taller. You plugged the. You don't need to plug that one in yet anyway because that's your dig servo. That's going to end up going on channel 3. And your speed control will be.
Don't plug it in.
You can. It's fine. It's not going to hurt anything.
Oh, that was on 3.
Oh, do I? Well, what do you have plugged into channel 1?
Oh, that's on bus.
Oh, you need to plug your steering into channel 1, not 4. Sorry, I couldn't see your numbers. I should just look up here. That way I can see what you're doing.
I think I had it right the first time, but then it wasn't in the right sequence.
Okay. So you can do that. Yeah. So dig servo will be channel 3, and then speed control will be channel 2.
Okay. Bus 1.
Yeah, bus 1's fine.
Okay.
So we need to figure out how to get the speed control sticky to this guy back here, right? And how to, we're going to want to get some access to the skid plate. So let's see. This actually might be easier than I thought. Since you built this, I get to ask you questions.
Oh.
If you unscrew these 4 screws on each side, does the skid plate just come out? Because that's what it looks like.
I think so.
Okay,
But I
so
did the skid plate before I did the shocks.
that's okay. We're probably going to want to do that. Because what we need to do is, try to get it so people can kind of see. Back here on the motor, you see where the red wire goes in and the black wire goes in?
Yeah.
We're going to want to sever those connections, and we're going to want to connect the wires on here the blue and the yellow where the red and the black were. Right?
Which one
So,
goes to which one?
doesn't matter. You can always reverse it. It might matter for some motors, right? But for the motor that's in there, it doesn't. It's not like forward advanced timing or anything like that. It's just a stock, good old axial. I would guess, though, that they would have this as the ground and this as the red.
Okay.
But there are instructions, yes?
Yes.
So, if you want to work on dropping the skid plate, our soldering iron's hot. I will dig through this real quick. See if I can figure out how they say they want it. Probably should have. It would have been nice if we could have done this ahead of time, because then you wouldn't have to be taking things apart. But it is what it is. Let's see. Programming. Yeah, doesn't matter. Oh, I should have brought some water. Yeah, that's right, I do.
Mark, just tell your girlfriend that it doesn't matter as long as she's having fun. That's all that's important.
That's right. Hey, Julia, glad you think it's cool.
Hey.
Squeaky chair.
Oh.
So you definitely, it's funny because I think you are going to need the scalpel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if I told you, but one time I got to play a doctor on TV.
You didn't tell me.
I did. It's true.
So does that mean when people say things, you get to respond with, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV?
Yes.
Excellent. Oh, you'll have to prepare the surgery site.
This is why I didn't want to put the stickers on first.
Hell no, that's okay. Trust me,
Hurt my soul.
it's going to be subjected to much worse than whatever you do to it while you're doing this. Actually, you know what? Hold up for a second. With it upside down, you may not actually... No, it's better, yeah. It'd be tight. So the soldering iron will be hot. And if you slip or something like that, you definitely could burn yourself. You also could melt plastic.
Ooh.
It wouldn't like just melt right through it, but you know.
Get me a new lightsaber.
To try to be pretty. Yes, that's what it is. It's a hot saber. Mark, this is episode 6, I think,
Something like that.
of Jackie Builds a Capra. So if you wanted to, you could have your girlfriend go check out our YouTube page. It's whatever, facebook.com/lockeduprc, and she should be able to see Jackie build this thing from day one.
Taking it out of the box and all the things.
Taking it out of the box to up to right now. It's gonna just help.
Thanks. It's slipping away.
Well, the workbench is slippery.
I'm used to it being on these sticky tires.
You also have it really far away from yourself. This will make it slightly easier.
What's this? The M318, I think.
Maybe you may not need to take it out all the way.
It's coming. That way I won't
There we
lose
go.
it.
Okay.
Yes.
So this should give you some better access to get to the motor. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, if you really wanted to make it easier on yourself, you could take some of the links off. Yeah, just saying. So if you took off 1, 2, 3 more screws, then you'll basically be able to fold the whole thing over. You'll have fantastic access to the motor.
Which one's this?
Just what's holding. So this, the same on the other side, and then this goes in with a set screw somewhere, right over here.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Or you could take off the front ones. Same thing, either way. But
What about the axle?
the drive shaft will come
Drive shaft.
apart.
Okay.
We'll just have to make sure we put it back together when we put her together.
Yes.
Her. Are you going to name her?
I haven't decided yet. I mean,
Or him?
I
You
name
could
all.
call it a boy.
No way.
No? I don't know. I mean, I guess
Well, I want to put locked
ships
up
are
stickers.
named women names. Women names? Female names? I don't know. Feminine, right?
Yeah.
You want to put what?
I forgot where I was going with it. Oh yeah, I want to put locked up stickers instead of a lot of the Axial stickers,
Well, that's okay.
and make it like our team car.
Fair enough. I think you'll need a smaller one for that.
Tiny guy.
Yeah, the tiny guy. You can scoot all those down to the left if you want, so they're more within your reach. I don't even remember why I scooted things over.
I scooted him
Oh.
so I could be better on the camera. I scooch whenever I want.
I'm definitely going to have to get either hot chocolate or hot cider.
Ooh.
Could I interest you in one of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Let's see. After we get done with soldering this together, I will let you figure out how to mount things, and you'll have all your screws to put back in. I'll go run down and grab us cider, probably.
Yeah. Cider. I love making mulled cider. That was the only thing I used my crock pot for.
Well, we have just whatever apple cider comes in a K-cup. It's not like homemade or anything.
Whee!
I don't have time for all that. So,
It was great for holiday
in
parties.
theory, what's stopping me?
What?
What am I caught on?
The wires are
Oh,
in
okay.
the
One wire.
holes.
I've got a wire. Can we pull that one wire back out? Sorry. It's hard to tell you how to do things in advance because I've never done this before.
Henry Flipper.
Yep. Ah, spaghetti monster. Sorry, shouldn't laugh, but it's funny. You should be able to get those out with your hands,
Yeah, I should.
because if you pinch them too hard, you may actually crush the end. And although we have the tools to redo an end, it's more fun not to.
Yeah.
So, now we should have some slack. Which guy is this?
Yeah, they're just in the little nook, like you told me to do.
It's this one. There we go. Okay, so now, haha. Okay, so definitely don't want to burn him. Try to get this in a place that it's kind of stable. I was hoping that this would just flop all the way forward, but it's not going to. So I'll just have to run the risk of you burning my arm. It's not the first time. Plus, burnt hair smells good. So I would suggest cutting back some of the electrical tape, just so you can kind of get to down here. Do you want me to show you what I mean, since you've never done this before?
Yeah, wouldn't I want to use the wire strippers?
You'll
like
see.
Cut.
Because this isn't round down here, so I'm just going to cut this in half. Right? So I can get to this knot of solder. But I don't want to cut the wire off, and there's a reason. One, it's perfectly good wire. We can reuse this and add it to our rat pack of garbage that I collect. So we've got that out of the way. So now what you want to do is, you got your soldering iron. You know which end is hot.
I've never touched one of these.
That's the hot end, yeah.
So
you are going to want to hold that really hot tip to this.
and
Eventually, the solder will liquefy, and I will be able to pull the wire off.
do I want to put the rock underneath?
You can,
Or
sure.
Drip.
It might. Oh, that rock. I thought you meant you were gonna. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna make a bad Dwayne Johnson joke. I'm just gonna let it go.
Can you smell?
So sometimes I find that it heats it up more if I kind of, this is sound weird, but kind of like rub it a little bit, because that way you kind of, yeah. But for the most part, once you rub it a couple of times, yeah, it's getting it. So just hold it on there, and you don't have to hold it at the very, very tip. But you see how it's changing? It's looking more liquidy. So just hold it on there. You don't have to take it off anymore. It's coming. Just keep it on there. You could probably hold it with a broader part of the soldering iron.
Well, it's dripping down onto that white plastic.
That's okay.
Part.
It's alright. There you go. That's it. So pull it off. So now you got to do the same thing on the other one.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to move this slightly so that people can see.
Like, I don't have to clean that off or anything?
No, we'll get to that.
Okay.
People can't see what you're doing. I don't know that they could see what you're doing even with the camera there because it's kind of far away. I guess I could move the camera closer. I'm going to move the camera closer.
I feel like a bomb squad. I'm cutting the red wire.
There you go. So, same thing on this side.
I ran into an electrician the other day.
Did you leave your insurance information?
What?
You said you ran into him.
Oh, no.
But
To talk about a service call. And I was like, what are all these wires? And they're all different colors and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, this might be...
That was much better.
Must be pretty hard if you're colorblind, huh? Ha ha ha. And he's like, actually, I am colorblind.
I've got you beat.
Oops.
I know someone that I won't name on here who is colorblind and was a pilot.
What? I thought that was not a good idea.
Yeah, it's not. Hi, Austin. We are putting electronics in Jackie's CAPRA today. We did not have the electronics available while she was doing the build, so we're having to go back, take some things apart, and put them back in. So now what you'll need to do is attach this guy and attach that guy onto there. Now these wires are really long, so you can leave them long, or you know, if we were going to make this super fancy and whatever, we'd figure out exactly how long we like, where we wanted it to be, all of that stuff. This is probably way more than you need, but we can always go back and shorten it later.
Okay.
So it's up to you. Do you want to shorten it a little bit now, get rid of some of the excess? Because, you know, once that's in there, I mean, your speed control is going to be right here.
Yeah.
So it's really close to the motor.
Really close, yeah.
So you want to trim them?
Yeah, maybe like
Okay.
2 inches.
Okay. So make it happen.
I've seen some chefs get like measurements on their fingers. I think that's
Like
pretty cool.
measurement tattoos, really?
Yeah, or like
Didn't even think of that.
fishermen.
So when you cut it, you want to use that end where it's flat.
Oh, but I'm gonna
You're gonna
strip it a little bit
not yet,
first.
because we're just cutting it clean through. That's gonna take a long time. That's not gonna help. Oh, no, don't stop.
What?
Because it's gonna get messy too. Because then when you cut this, all the little bits of wire are gonna go everywhere. So take this part and just cut it like right where my fingernail is, except all the way through. That make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So repeat on the yellow wire, and you want them to be the same length, or close, for now, because we don't know exactly how everything's going to be. Now you can just strip off. So there you go. Thanks.
Let's go.
So now what you need to do is what they call tin. You need to tin the wires. So what you need to do now is take the soldering iron, and you're going to hold it we'll start with the yellow one because why not? You're going to hold it on there, and you need to get it hot enough that it will melt the solder.
Okay.
And what you want to do is you don't want to just melt the solder onto the wire. You want to hold the soldering iron onto like the tip of the wire and then hold the solder like right there or whatever and wait for the wire to melt the solder. That way you know the wire is hot enough to actually get good adhesion with this.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just leave this on the spool, right?
Yep, you can. Most of the time when people are beginning soldering and they get a bad connection, it's because they are melting the solder on top of the wire and the wire is not actually absorbing it. And you will see when it gets hot enough, it will actually like suck the solder in.
Cool.
I don't know if you're there yet.
Not yet.
I'm gonna change this up a little bit for people.
There it goes. How much do I put?
Of course, I can't see what you're doing, but so you basically want the wire to be you're going to want to be able to kind of like form. So this is how much you put. Whatever was on here, you see how this like looks nice and uniformly coated. So another thing that people will do frequently is they'll take the end of the wire and they'll twist it before they solder it. I forgot to tell you that, but that's how you get this nice little grouping.
Does it look alright?
Sure. Where'd those needle nose go?
Right here.
Over here. Okay. So let me see this real quick. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to, yeah, see, we don't have solder on the other side. So you either want to let it melt through like that or whatever, but I'm just holding it down with the soldering iron and I'm twisting it now so that we get a nice little clump. Woo! Hot wire!
Yeah. Good stuff.
So this side I'm going to twist first. That would save us a step.
Okie dokie.
I kind of like having the camera right there.
Yeah.
So once the wire is good and tinned, and I can't see from back here if it really is, but all we will basically do at that point is we will heat up that lead on the motor while holding the wire to it. And then when it cools, you have a nice joint.
Okay.
Because that's already tinned. And most people will tell you that, you know, less is better when you're doing soldering, but you still want to make sure you get adequate coverage everywhere. Yeah, I think you're good.
Cool.
Okay, so now, oh, and one feature I didn't tell you about, see the sponge in front?
Oh,
So if your iron gets too much goop on it, you can wipe it off in there. I need to actually wet the sponge a little. I forgot to do that earlier, so I'll do that now. But if you get dirt, goo, or you accidentally hit a piece of plastic or whatever, you can use that and, you know, put it down and draw.
cool. And do I worry about that little fin?
He'll melt, or you can melt them down. It's up to you. Figured.
You don't stand a chance, Finn.
Nope.
There.
Sean says you may be better than him at soldering.
Oh, thank you.
It's the tiny hands.
It is.
It's cheating. Look at that. It's not fair.
Got those little carny
Santa's
hands.
workshop. You wonder why he has elves? That's
Yep.
just in case kids are watching. Santa really has elves. I've seen them. So, yep. So it's going to be the same kind of principle, but now you want to heat up that and that at the same time. So basically what you're going to do is, in one hand, you're going to hold this, and this may get a little warm, but in one hand you're going to hold this, and in the other hand have the soldering iron. And I would suggest probably heating up the tab and maybe not the wire. That might make it go faster, because the tab I think is thinner than the body of the wire.
So this is gonna go here with the sticky pad?
Right. Or
Does
zip ties.
it matter which side goes which way?
I don't think there's a switch or anything on here, is there? Does this...
That's the little switch.
Does this like mount to that or something? What's this thing?
Yeah, consult the manual.
I know what that's for.
What?
So if you want to zip tie this in instead of double-sided tape, this will hold it centered.
Yes.
So I don't know that it really matters, to answer your question.
Okie dokie.
So
Where does that go?
I would say maybe put it this way, since the motor's on this side and the motor leads are right here. This will go off to our battery, which I didn't even watch you build it. I don't know where the battery sits. I'm guessing in here somewhere. Up there? I don't know. I have to go back and look. Capiche?
Should I zippy it first?
I don't think it matters. I wouldn't.
No.
I'd probably solder it all together first, and then you can zippy it.
And then...
Zippy it. See how she makes me talk? Hey Sean, I am guessing we're going to stream until about 4, so another 40 minutes.
There's a red dot there?
Yep.
Okay.
It says it doesn't matter. Now, if you want for a cleaner look, you could come back with your wire cutters and clip this to be similar to this.
Nice.
That's what I'm showing her. It's the old wire she cut off. Provided that you have tinned it all the way up. Yep. Good times. Little nuggets. I guess we did need the garbage can. So you're going to want to hold the wire there while you're doing that.
What, like make a little sandwich?
No. So either that way or hold the wire on top and come from the bottom with the iron. And it's going to take a while, just so you know. And try to maximize contact area between the soldering iron and whatever you're heating. So if you have to come in at like a different angle, like wherever that point is, you want to try to hold as much of it flat against what you're doing. That makes sense?
Yes.
I think you got it. Yep. That's it. I think it's on there, so just let it cool.
You can see that white plastic starting to bubble.
It's okay. You're okay. I think you're good. I think you got that one. So now you just do the same thing on the other side. So maybe go like this. Get some stuff out of your way. Make it better, worse. Better and worse. Worse and better. I guess it wasn't.
Hey, wait a minute.
So when you do it this time, try putting the wire on there and heating the whole thing up through the wire. Okay. And then when you see the stuff on the tab melt, you just need to make sure you hold it still and let it cool.
Do the bottom one first this time.
Whatever you want. So I'd hold the soldering iron onto the wire.
Oh yeah.
And then you have to switch hands. Yeah.
Good thing I've got 2 hands.
That's right. There you go. There you go. So it went. So wait until you see the tab go there. Okay, it went. So keep it on there for a second. So you saw how you saw the wire change.
Yeah.
And then you saw the tab change.
Yeah.
So once that tab changes, you want to kind of squish everything down with the iron, and then hold it there for just a second, and then pull the iron off, but keep holding the wire there and never move. But that looks like you probably got it. It's not the best joint ever, but it looks good. Look at it.
I like it.
Okay. So now do the same thing with the yellow one. And when you make a good joint, you could probably pick up the whole truck with that one wire.
Cool.
I don't know what the actual strength rating is on a whatever gauge wire that is, solder joint, but they're usually pretty tough. I can't see it from the thing, so you'll have to judge for yourself when it is going. I'm trying to look. Should go?
Nope.
No. Okay. So sometimes it helps to just keep it on there. This. Did the tab go? Oh, but you gotta hold the wire
almost
down. Hard to do. You got it in a good state. Just have to hold the wire down. Is it too hot?
It's warm.
You can grab the needle nose. I don't know if it moved in between when you. Is it on there? Or are you holding it?
Almost.
Here, hold it.
Should I put some more solder on the tab?
Let's see what happens. Sometimes it's like when you just add a little bit of solder like I did, it kind of just causes everything to liquefy. So keep that on there, but watch your skid plate that you're not. Yeah, so you're barely getting the skid plate. Let's see. We want to be at this angle. Okay. Now I can see. Let me see this. Come at it like this, and then hold it flat down on there.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Jeez.
I've got lots of flesh. I'm telling you, hold it with your left hand. Come down. That way you get more of it across. There you go.
I don't know if it's.
I'll tell you, because I can see the peak on the tab. You're getting into the skid plate.
Dude. My left hand is stupid.
So, saw it very slightly and slowly. Okay. I don't know why it's not catching.
I think we need some more juice on the tab.
No, the tab's got put. Look, just hit the tab. It's got plenty.
Okay, but
That's not going to work. You got to get it at the right time. Okay, the wire went. No, hold it on. Keep it. Oh. Okay, keep it. The wire just went. Now I'm waiting for the tab to go. Okay, tab went. You're good. You can take that off. I'm just going to hold it there for a second. When I say a second, I mean longer than just 1 second. There you go. And only one casualty.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It happens to the best of us. It's supposed to happen to you your first time. Mild burns. That's okay. Burning flesh. It still doesn't smell as bad as burnt hair.
Ooh.
So, that's it. You can actually switch the soldering iron off.
Okay.
And move it out of the way. Especially the hot part. There we go. Yep. Slide. You can get that cord, everything out of the way, because that way we don't accidentally catch it and burn ourselves with it. So, at this point, you will want to... What? Feel better?
Exciting.
Oh, exciting. All right, good. So, at this point, you will want to reassemble what we took apart.
Okay.
I'm going to do this so people get a better view of things again.
Nice.
And just remember that it's there,
Yes.
because I always forget. I am going to... Are you good to mount that yourself
Yeah, I think so.
and reassemble?
Yeah.
I will fetch drinks and something else. Was there something else I was going to get?
Batteries. You got batteries.
I got batteries. Maybe it's just cider. Did you want
Oh,
cider
you-
or cocoa? Oh, I what?
We're gonna look at the instructions for this guy, I think. Because this has to go somewhere.
Oh, I thought, yeah. I don't know what we're going to do with that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't forget to have your drive piece. Drive
Yes.
that.
I'll do
Things, stuff, and things.
that. Got it.
Let's see. I need to find you a battery.
Oh yeah, should I battery before I put it back together?
What? Nope.
No?
No. So, however the battery mounts, it's going to be done in such a way that you don't have to take the truck apart to mount it in. I don't know what it was, but
Seems like it should go in
we'll figure it out.
this little area.
So, we've got lots of different batteries for you to choose from. It's a little puffy, so don't try that at home. Definitely don't poke the batteries. Like, where's the batteries? I'm gonna leave these over here for now. Yep. So these batteries actually come with this little adapter, right? So since I run Dean's, different style plug, right? You see?
Mhm.
So when we plug yours in, we'll just use that.
So
Oh,
I'm thinking it goes in here.
Could be. But you go ahead and put stuff back together and whatnot. We don't have to put a battery back. I don't even know which one is going to fit in there correctly yet. And we may have to get a different battery for it to actually get one that mounts up in there, but we'll figure it out. You put that together. I'm going to go get us cider because my throat hurts.
You take an allergy pill?
Welcome,
today?
Mark. An allergy pill?
Yeah.
No. Why would I take an allergy pill?
Well, it's that time of year.
For allergies? No, but I did buy some cedar serum. Yeah.
No, girl, they make some good fire cider. That stuff is amazing. Alright. I didn't burn the shop down. Yay. Alrighty. So, I need this guy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this guy. Let me put this guy in right quick. I don't know about y'all internal dialogue wise, but for me, my internal dialogue is always like the very positive, encouraging John Hammond from Jurassic Park 1 when the Velociraptor is hatching. I talk to people in traffic like that too. Come on then. situation is unclear. So looks like all the wires mostly are on this side. Keep that where I can find it. Okay. Aren't these called capacitors? I think that they are. Let's see here. The only notches at the top. I don't really think that there's a notch on the body. So I think this way, a little curled up, it's gonna be the way. Okay, that might not be long enough. Okay, in that case, I'll just have to use two. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay, that got me. I have a little kombucha here. I make my kombucha if anybody else does. That's fun for me. And it just popped its lid off. Alright, you tiny rascal. Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to do that with the skid plate put together. So if you guys watching this get the chance to get all your ducks in a row before you finish putting the cage together, I recommend that. Alright, locked in. Yay. This guy was being a little fussy, so I had to put two of the CPs together. Thank you.
Oh, it didn't go all the way around, you mean?
Right, it was just barely too short.
Happens. Oh.
Danger zone.
I don't know where a good place for that for you is. But so I think we probably will be done with the CAPRA instructions, right?
Well,
except for maybe stickers.
if you want to see, well, the stickers aren't even in there. But if you want to see like where the battery goes, or if you recommend what kind of battery to get, size-wise?
Yeah, I have not looked at this truck since you've been building it. I really haven't checked it out, to be honest. Well, they're just not really doing
That cider smells good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, while you were gone, my kombucha blew its lid, and it really scared me.
Oh god.
Carbonation. That's why I have one of these rubber lids, so the glass doesn't shatter, because that's happened before.
That would be bad.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Spray tea.
Well, the bottom of the glass pops, and then there's just shatter
That
everywhere.
also would be bad. So what they actually recommend is a 2S lipo. All we have is a 3.
Oh. What?
Actually, I have a 2, but it's got the wrong type of plug, and I don't think I have a backwards adapter. So... was there anywhere in the instructions that you put a little Velcro strap?
Velcro? No.
No? Okay.
They just had those little arm things that I left out somewhere. Which we were supposed to find out where those went.
We'll figure it out. It's got these things.
No, let's just keep the hood down.
Right, but I'm wondering if the battery just goes under the hood. Do what you're doing, we'll figure it out. Let's see. Wiring sequence for the ESC. User manual for the quick run. I shouldn't figure this out. I should let you figure it out and then tell me. Hey, getting it?
Ish.
Having problems with the spaghetti?
Yeah. I had it, and then it unhad itself.
Do you need a hand?
Not yet.
Oh.
So wiggly.
I was going to start clapping.
Oh, I ruined my chances.
Yeah. Just doing some light reading. If anyone's wondering what I'm doing over here.
Go. Come back here.
Woo! I like the cider. So when I was cider shopping 2 days ago, I was trying to find something that had a reasonable, no, not reasonable. I was looking for something that didn't have added sugar.
Is that unreasonable?
It doesn't exist, apparently.
Oh.
I got the lowest sugar one that I could find, which I think it tastes delicious, but some of them had almost as much sugar as a Coke.
What?
Or Pepsi, if you like that type of thing.
Dr.
What?
Pibb.
Dr. Pibb? You mean Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb?
Mr. Yes.
Mr. Pibb, I forgot about that.
It's been a while. We used to get that from the Piggly Wiggly.
Is that a Pepsi product or a Coke product?
I have no idea. It's been a long time since I've had soda on the regular.
I feel like Dr. Pepper is everywhere.
Yeah. Isn't it more like a Texas thing though, because of the Dublin Dr. Pepper situation?
Because of the Dublin Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. You know, the pure cane sugar. You don't know about that?
No, what?
What? Dr. Pepper had the small glass bottle Dr. Pepper. It had real cane sugar instead of fructose corn syrup.
If you say so.
Just like the Coca-Cola in the bottles.
You know what? I'm gonna.
And what?
Is that what you're looking for? Those, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm gonna put the stabber away.
Oh, okay.
That way we can't do any stabbing.
So there's a Dublin, Texas, where they had the plant and they closed it not that long ago. And everybody was really sad. They tried to save their plant.
Oh.
It was a source
Yeah, I
of
didn't
pride
know
for
that.
the whole community,
Yeah,
and they took it down.
I was not aware of that. Sorry for your loss, Dublin, Texas. And that was a Dr. Pepper plant?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sad days.
Yeah. Throat still hurts. Can only drink so much cider. I just need to stop talking. I'm just gonna give you hand signals from here on out.
Cool.
That'll work out great.
You gotta take it easy in your opera lessons.
Mm-hmm.
You better do what I want, or it's gonna be acquaintance. Oh, that's the quick run.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't even test this stuff without a battery, right? What do we do about that?
Oh no, well, we're okay. I figured it. We can test it with a 3S. It's just that it's probably going to be faster and more powerful than it needs to be.
Yes, I like
the
the sound of that.
Other option would be that we cut the end off the speed control and we put the type of end that will eventually be on there anyway on. So it's just more soldering. So it's up to you, and you know, we need to, of course, monitor where we are time-wise. Well, let's see, what time is it? Show me a clock. 3:48. Yeah, so we probably won't get to that today. We probably won't even get to the radio today. We'll probably have you finish that and then plug in wires, and we'll have all the wiring done. Yeah.
Cool, man.
We'll see. Yeah, ran a little bit late today.
So
Oh, welcome, Mark. I just noticed that you joined. I don't know how long ago that was.
I looped my wires. So it's a good thing we had to cut
She looped-ed the wires.
it.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
You did a little loop
okay.
instead of a zig. Yeah, instead of
Loop, swoop, and pull?
Yeah.
I think the only thing you need to be aware of is to make sure the wires are not touching the drive shaft, because as it spins, it would wear through the wire. That's something we can remedy with zip ties. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta put black zip ties on the shopping list.
You reminded me of a joke I heard.
What's that?
Somebody asked what Yoda's last name was. You know what they said?
I know I've heard this before, but I don't remember.
Lehihu.
Yep. I think that was one of the dad jokes that Caden was telling last weekend. Wah, wah.
I loved it.
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in myself for not planning ahead and thinking about the battery. I should have ordered that when we ordered everything else, but
There's a lot that wasn't in the kit.
you know, I mean, technically, once you get all the screws all the way in, I think they're still loose on the other side.
What?
Once you get all the screws all the way in and everything plugged in and that cover put back down, technically you're done with Jackie builds a CAPRA.
What?
And then it will become Jackie drives a CAPRA.
Oh.
Or something. But I don't feel like making another theme song, so I think next time you should make your own theme song.
Yes.
Because I'm not a good singer.
I'm an okay singer. My singing claim to fame was one time my friend was having a karaoke birthday party, and she was the only person I knew, so I walk into the karaoke room and they're like, "New person, you're up!" And I didn't know it. I was so just, okay, well, Bohemian Rhapsody it is.
Oh gosh. So you picked a short song.
Yeah, and then the monitor rated me 10 out of 10, and for the rest of the night, nobody could get above a 9.
Nice.
Could I do it again? I don't know. Maybe I needed the adrenaline.
The adrenaline of being surprised?
Yeah, on the spot.
Yeah. I guess we need to figure out a place to put that switch.
Yeah, I'll put it in my driver's seat.
That is a very lot of involved in that. Yeah. And you've got a big power button. What's up with that? So you got, so the little one is a set button and the big one is on and off. It's funny because usually I cut switches off of all of my speed controls.
What?
Because I don't want an on-off switch. It's just something else to think about. Because I just have it so that when I plug the battery in, it's on, and when I unplug it, it's off.
Interesting. Should have done this a minute ago. Dang it.
What's that?
There you go.
Oh.
Putting that little speed controller guy through there. Resisting urge to smash.
What? Don't smash.
Want to smash.
You know, one thing that we need to find out, we're going to have to poll people. I just can't not clear my throat, it hurts. We're going to have to poll people to see what they want you to build next.
Oh, yes.
I feel like I'm up. Just sitting here doing nothing. I'm gonna waste the space.
Moral support.
Moral support.
Come on now.
I see your dilemma.
Yes.
Nice. There you go.
Rah, success. Alright. You. Now I have to figure out what everything is again. Okay. This guy, I'm sure, goes here. And then that guy. That's the speed control. How'd that guy get under there? Is that the right? That's this.
So we'll have to figure out some creative way to mount this switch so that it's easily accessible for you, but that it definitely cannot be touched by flying debris.
Right.
Or if it runs into something. So maybe we hot glue it or something under here. We'll figure it out. But
where did you say these guys go again? That's
so let's see. Your steering servo, which is I think let's see. This is your steering servo. So it's the thicker retro wires. What did I say earlier? Steering is channel 1. Right, and black goes away. Yep, you're good. Channel 2 is your speed control, which is the one with the white signal wire.
Okay. I think that one was just a little taller.
Could be.
Seems like it's not going anywhere.
Sometimes that happens. Different manufacturers make things slightly different. The next one would be your dig servo. But I'm going to say this. Let's leave the dig unplugged for a second.
Okay.
And let's also spin it around. Right? Because you've got your speed control and you have your steering servo plugged in.
This has to go out this tiny hole.
If you want it to, it's going to look silly. It doesn't need to. I think that's probably a fair and accurate guess for where it could go, but it doesn't have to. But I'm building up to something here.
Okay.
So let's spin it around and face it the other way. And let's see. Pull these 2 pins out of the side, and I bet the hood just pops open.
Yes.
Because I see little things right there. Yep. So your battery sits down in here.
Okay.
That's actually pretty snazzy. So we need to get the battery plug for the speed control routed so that it arrives in here somehow.
Which one is that?
The one that has the plug on the end? The big plug?
Yeah, I put that somewhere. What? What do I do with that guy?
And if it reaches, that may actually be a good place for the speed control switch, but I don't think the speed control switch. There it is. Yep. Okay. Good. No, you might be okay leaving it there. Is there a way to get it up into here? Oh yeah. Sorry guys, I missed on comments because I got distracted. I couldn't find the mouse, but now it's right in front of me. What's up, Roman?
Convenient
All right.
little holes in there.
So, if you want just to have a taste of success,
Oh yeah, that's tasty.
do you want to taste some success?
Heck yeah.
What I propose then is have a sip of your cider. We will turn on the radio and we will loosen, and this is also part of the reason I had you not plug the dig servo in. Anytime you power up a servo for the first time, you don't really know where center is, and the servo only has so much swing. So when we turn this thing on, if we put the arm on facing the wrong way or whatever, it might throw the steering really hard to one way. And it could damage the servo. So you'll want to loosen this and pull the servo arm off. and definitely save that. And there may be a little washer in there, but if not, okay, we're good. That's probably fine. It's okay. Sorry.
There is one in there.
Yeah, it's okay. Looks like he's happy. So then we want to power on your radio after we put batteries in it.
Yeah, they just...
And again, we're not going to be setting up the radio right now. This is just so she can have a taste of success. We're going to have to bind the radio with the... Let's see. Oh, so many different things that we have to do. Actually, we'll have to program, I guess. Let's see. Ooh, programming.
Yes.
You know what, we're just going to plug things in and make things happen and see what kind of damage we can do.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Time for smashing.
Smashy smash.
But I should not put that on yet.
Right, don't put that on yet. So there's a couple of different things that kind of have to happen at the same time. So we have to program the ESC, which actually we can do that first, but it's going to require some reading. And where's your little program thing that they sent? The little box.
This guy?
No, there was like a black box.
Oh, yeah. No, it's still in here.
Oh, okay. So we'll need to figure out, maybe we should save this for next time because this is going to be probably involved.
Yeah, let's, like, read everything.
Okay. I was trying to give you a taste of success, but it's probably more prudent to read
I
things.
still need these guys, right?
Did not need those yet, but
Set
that's extra
sticker.
sticky stuff.
Yeah.
Double-sided tape. So we will, in the off time, educate ourselves. We will read some manuals, figure out how to use the program card, and hopefully, whenever you come back and we're doing the next Jackie show, we will be able to start off with you programming the ESC, because we want to program the ESC for the correct battery voltage, all of that, and then we can bind the receiver.
Bind it.
Yes, so you have to make sure that the transmitter knows that it's talking to that receiver and only that one, and vice versa. Probably a good idea in the interim to just put this back in so we don't lose it.
Ah.
Although I guess if everything's on your mat, it's not going anywhere, so yeah, just leave it off, whatever.
Meh.
Okay, so I think that's it. I will let you take us out.
All right, everybody. See you next time.
Jackie builds CAPRA. Jackie builds a CAPRA. Jackie builds CAPRA. Jackie builds a CAPRA.